All right, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, bringing on a special live podcast today, from my latest road trip that I ended last night. I just came back home. Urban Legend trip with my kids and a few of my friends. We traveled down, the United States. And if my voice sounds a little tired, it's because, almost no sleep in 2 weeks. So, and we've been everywhere and in between. We've been to so many places. The first stop that we had was in Lake George, New York, just chilling for a few days. And actually, it was the only 2 days actually where we really did nothing but, play arcades and, visit the beautiful town of Lake George in New York, New York State. It's not that far from Montreal. It's a very, very beautiful area. If you've never been there, I truly recommend it. I'm sure you would love it. People there are very nice. The weather was incredible. For 14 days, we had no rain. It was sunny and very, very hot and humid. So we were lucky in terms of temperature. But then on Sunday, we left, and then the Urban Legend trip started. We headed down to West Clinton, New Jersey. We had our hotel, in Mahwah, New Jersey, in a beautiful area near the mountains. And in the afternoon, we toured Clinton Road in West Milford. If anybody never heard about Clinton Road, Clinton Road is absolutely incredibly stunning. It's in the middle of rural New Jersey, in the middle of nowhere, actually. You drive there, and it's pretty confusing to get to the street itself because it doesn't say Clinton Road, probably to avoid having too many people to go there, because it's now become a big trending thing, on YouTube. If you Google it, actually, you can find it, Clinton Road, and it's known as the most haunted road in the United States of America. So it's actually a few miles long. It's about 10 miles long, and it's in the middle of the forest. And the first thing I did, because there's no trespassing signs when you go near the trees, you can walk along the road. But and I didn't know why, so I didn't trespass. But I just got out of the car, and just as I get out of the car, I hear something, and I always carry my ghost box in my pocket, and I hear this side thinking it's my ghost box, so I'm trying to, and then I realized I didn't have it on me. So then I realized, what the heck is that? I thought it was a motor running or something, and then I realized, saw something move in the brush, just in front of me, and then I realized it was the biggest rattlesnake I've ever seen in my life, and the rattlesnake was actually looking at me backing away. So I was like, oh my God, so I backed off. Actually filmed it, and got back in the car, and we kept driving and filming, through a beautiful winding road. And then we got to a spot, people were parked by the side of the street where you can see the remnants of the old mill, that is there. And so just from the road, we took pictures and did a quick ghost box session. And it was pretty creepy because, you're driving through and the light coming through the trees. Even during daytime, you get all kinds of shadows and stuff like that. So, flying monkeys, no. But, I mean, in terms of being spooky, just imagine driving there at night, in the middle of nowhere, actually. And that was pretty cool, because there's many, many legends and folklore about the road itself. The ghost boy at the bridge, and Dead Man's Curve, that covered in graffiti, and near the reservoir. So if you put a quarter in the middle of the road where the yellow line is at midnight, supposedly, is going to be returned by the ghost of the boy who drowned while swimming below. That's an urban legend, so we didn't even try it because, but it was pretty cool, just to see that beautiful spot. It was a very steep curve. So the Druidic Temple is actually just an old mill, that was used during the Revolutionary War of 1812, and it's there, it looks, from the top of the road, it looks pretty ruined, and but still creepy. So that's pretty cool. You have the sign, on the side of the road where it says historic marker. So that was pretty cool. Clinton Furnace, it's called. Out of the other accounts about the urban legends around there, is a ghost truck, phantom vehicles, people, pickup trucks, even floating headlights not attached to a vehicle that supposedly appear from nowhere. Go figure. Hell owns to monkeys. hybrids, everything, you can think of, that's why I bought my supernatural thing, my supernatural t-shirt, because I was like, wow, we're demon hunting this week on this trip. That was pretty cool. That was just fun to be part of the this urban legend, because I love urban legends as much as the paranormal. And like I said with Steve before, UFOs and everything, supernatural origins, to me, I started watching the X-Files and it really got me into this field. So that was pretty fun. Would I recommend to do full investigation? No, because first of all, there's not a lot of spots you can go. Most of it is, you can't really go. You basically have to stay by the side of the road, if you want to do something, so you can't go in the forest. First of all, there's rattlesnakes, as I saw, and the rattlesnakes are right by the side of the road. So imagine if you go deeper, it's very dangerous to go there. So, but just to take a little drive, I would recommend it. It was very, very fun. And then after we did Clinton Road, we went back to the hotel, check in, and we had breakfast at Nuna's Pizza, in West Mill. No, it was in Mahwah, New Jersey. Absolutely amazing pizza. If you love pizza, this is one of the best places ever. And so we were there, and it was very cool. We had great pizza. We talked with the waitress, who was very, very cool. The name, I think, was Valerie. And I was asking her about spots in the area where I could visit, because I didn't want to go back on Clinton Road. It was still early. It was like 5:36 p.m. So she told me about, maybe you'd be interested in Letchworth Village. I was like, wow, like a little kid, I almost cried. I was like, wow, is it here? Because to me, I didn't know where Letchworth Village was, so I had no idea it was about 20 minutes away from the area where I was, in Mahwah. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, definitely I want to go. So we actually got back in the car, and we got to, in Rockland County, New York, in a small little town. And we got there, So again, she told me that the kids go there, as long as you don't enter the buildings and you follow the signs, you're okay, you can go. And actually, when I got there, there was a lot of people walking their dogs, local people, tourists, people from Florida, a lot of people, were visiting the abandoned town, like abandoned former psychiatric hospital. And it was built, for the, kind of like Penners, and it opened in 1911, and it closed down, I would say, maybe 20 years ago. By the looks of the buildings, it looks like it's been abandoned for 100 years. But, nature overtakes everything pretty quickly. So, it was closed down in 1996. So that's only 19 years ago. And it's been abandoned for a lot longer than that. And there's not much you can do to restore it. I don't think that any money or anything could really do anything about the town. It's sad, but I think that unfortunately, but in terms of walking there and the history and feeling the emotion, I really, really, really felt overwhelmed. That's the only spot during the whole road trip where I really felt that, I wouldn't say bad energy, but I felt that pressure on my chest that I get when I go to a very haunted location. Around some buildings, you can feel that, the emotion, people live there. And I know that the people that work there had good intentions, but it was so overcrowded that most of them were not treated as great as they should have. So, it was a very, very sad feeling that I had, and yet I kept walking around all the buildings, and I visited most of the place. It's pretty big. It's a lot of acres. And I would say there's about 28 to 30 buildings on the property, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I know Ghost Adventures have been there, and I saw the building they investigated. It's the last one, the one closest to the road. On the other side, if you're coming from, there's two ways to come in, but this is the biggest building. Seems to me like the one that is kept more in good shape. And that was very special to be there. I really enjoyed it, and I took a lot of pictures, did a few videos, so I'm going to post it on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook, already posted a few. And as we're about to leave, I was doing a ghost box session by the building, that seemed to be totally wrecked, and we're around the fence, just in front of the fence, protect the building because the building has caved in. And as I said, we're about to leave. Is there something you'd like to tell me? And it just said, just leave. So usually, you know, when you're in an investigation, you can get there, you try to understand why they want you to leave when you're there to help or you're there to communicate with them. But this time I was leaving anyway. So I said, well, thank you. So that's what I was about to do anyway. So we left, and that was very special. I want to go back with Steve, Mark, Lauren, Mike, and Tracy and Cody and investigate that place. And I already told them about it. You know, and we will go back soon to do a full investigation. You know, we really can't wait to go back to Letchworth Village. Will be very, very, very cool. And that was a very pretty busy Sunday. And then on Monday we left, and we got to New Jersey. The other side of New Jersey, where we at a hotel in Mount Laurel, and then we did Eastern State Penitentiary. We visited the whole prison, and it was my third time there. You know, I really enjoy Eastern State, and really love touring Eastern State. It's very special. Eastern State got that. You know, that little something, you know, that is different from other penitentiary. You know, first of all, you can feel the emotion, you can feel the energy, and you can feel you know, some good energy, some bad energy. And this time around, you know, I kind of closed myself because I was not in investigating mood. I was basically just walking around and filming with my cell and taking pictures. And but it was pretty cool. You know, we saw Pep the dog's cell. We saw a lot because actually a dog was incarcerated there. Imagine that. It's supposedly for killing the cat of a governor, and then she came out later and said no, really it was just to keep company for the prisoners, which I think is a good idea, because when you think about it, if the dog is allowed to walk outside, you know, and be petted by 20, 30, 50 guys, you know, that dog is happy, right? As long as he's eating well and, you know, drink good, clean water, and have a lot of people surrounding him and taking care of him. You know, what more can a dog ask for? He can go in the yard and run and be allowed to. It's almost like a dream life for a dog, as long as he's not kept in his jail cell all day. So I don't know the conditions Pep was, you know, was kept in Eastern State, but I'm pretty sure you know, they were treating him well. And the prisoners, you know, on the picture, you can actually see a prisoner like petting him while he's eating at the table where all the prisoners were. That's pretty special, you know, a dog in a jail. There's a picture you can find online of him with his dog tag, you know, like his number, prison number 2559, and they sell, you know, miniature dolls and keychains of Pep, you know, the Eastern State when you enter, you know, the souvenir shop. So that's pretty cool, you know. And Al Capone cell still there, well kept. Most of the prison is falling apart. Some of the wings 7 and 5 are totally can't go anymore inside. It's second floors are really bad condition. So it would take a lot of money to restore it to the way it was, but you know, fortunately, we can still go and enjoy maybe the last few years before they'll have to close it, because it will be impossible to protect people in there, you know, because it will be too dangerous. So it's sad, but unfortunately, you know, a lot of those old buildings, you know, are falling apart. Like Brian Cano said before, you know, Denver's and a lot of buildings like that, you know, they're gone. And you know, we have to take advantage of the few left and be respectful. And there's money involved, if we can give a few pennies, a few dollars, you know, to try to help them. You know, every time I go to a location like this, I always ask if there's a donation where I can give a little something to help restore the place, and you know, for people, you know, to keep piece of history intact. So that was pretty cool for Eastern State. You know, I will post videos and some vlogs that I took there. I already posted a few on my page on Facebook, Dumb Ghost Hunter, and on Twitter. Also, if you just tap Dumb Ghost Hunter, you'll find all my videos on my channel. And after that, you know, we went to the Rocky Steps. Oh, that was so cool. And walked through Philadelphia, which is awesome by itself. You know, I love Philly, but there's good neighborhoods and bad neighborhoods. And on our way to Eastern State, you know, we went through Broad Street, and you know, we went through the ghetto. and with kids in the car, it's not very comfortable. Nothing happened, but you feel like everybody's looking at you, and you have the buildings. It really looks like the bad neighborhood, from Rocky, and the buildings are very narrow and very weird. You have the even daytime, the prostitutes there on the side of the street. When you stop at the red light, coming towards you, when they see kids in the car, they just turn away. But I mean, it's sadly, you go through that really, really bad neighborhood, and then poof, you're in a beautiful neighborhood a few blocks from Eastern States. So it changes pretty quickly, kind of like in Washington, D.C., So that was another cool experience, the Rocky Steps. Kids loved it. I love it. It was my second time there. We walked the steps, and we took pictures with the statue and on all the buildings. The Heart Museum in Philly is absolutely stunning and breathtaking. So we had a lot of fun walking over there. And the next day, we did a lot of other things. We went to. I didn't post anything about it yet because I kind of was able to investigate a little bit Fort Mifflin in Philadelphia, near the airport. So if you want to go investigate Fort Mifflin, I would recommend it. It's a wonderful location, full of history, and it's very, very beautiful. The only thing about it is it's sitting right next to the airport. So every, I would say, minute and a half, there's a plane, that either goes up or goes down, so the noise is deafening. So if you use the ghost box, or something, but if you use during EVP sessions, it's almost impossible to do EVP sessions. But the fort is incredibly well kept. There's underground tunnels. It's a very spooky place. I loved it, and we got some good stuff, and sitting by the marshlands. The marshlands are absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. So I really enjoyed Fort Mifflin. We saw the three stadiums, where the Phillies play, and the Eagles and the Flyers. So that was cool on the way in. And then we went to, I would say, Hidden Gem, because this place is absolutely stunning. It's called Basso Village in New Jersey. It's actually in the Warden State Forest, which is known for this was the centerpiece of the road trip, Urban Legend Trip, because who hasn't heard about the famous Jersey Devil, right? And the Jersey Devil is located in the Warden State Forest. This is where the first sightings of the Jersey Devil occurred back in the day, way back. And Basso Village is actually a ghost town that is located Burlington County, New Jersey, in the Warden State Forest. So you got a ghost town that is known for haunted, to be haunted, in the middle of the Pine Barrens, which is like one of the most number one sighting spot for the Jersey Devil, and a lot of cryptids and stuff like that. And the Warden State Forest, it's beautiful, visually breathtaking. You have that drive, the park ranger was like, oh yeah, I've seen the devil, he ran after me, everybody thinks it's flying, no, it was on foot, it was running after me. So, everybody keeping the legend alive. That was very, very cool. And so the water is like yellowish, which is very, very, very cool because of the iron in the water. So that was pretty beautiful. The pictures I took, are the ones I'm looking at. Wow, it almost looks like it's too it almost looks like it's been played with, your cell phone, when you can add layers of colors and stuff like that, but it's not. It's just breathtaking. You have to go there to believe it. And when we were there, it was free, so we got there. We talked with a woman. We did the self tour. We walked inside the you can go in almost every building, almost every like the blacksmith. Everywhere inside the town, most of the small house you can go in, the wheelwright, the grist mill, the church, the mansion, we didn't go, but that was absolutely unbelievably beautiful. And those buildings are not falling apart. They're kept in tip-top condition. And I would highly recommend everybody to go there. The rangers there are absolutely amazingly sweet and very full of good information. It's a wonderfully beautiful location. And it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's worth it. It's the town itself was built in 1687. So it's a very, 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 very old town. And it was abandoned, about in the 70s. And so the buildings are kept in some of the best conditions you can ever see for a ghost town. I've been to a lot of ghost towns, in Arizona and other places, but this one is by far the most beautiful ghost town I've ever seen. So it's not creepy looking. It's the buildings are well kept, but it gives you a sense of history. And you can also look for the Jersey Devil at the same time, which is pretty cool. So you can have a 2-for-1. Cryptology, paranormal investigating, and why not? Even people have said, they saw UFOs in the Pine Barrens. So you can do basically everything in one. It's a wonderful location, and we're going back very, very soon, me and my team, and we're going to do full-blown investigation, and there's going to be a lot of fun. So Basso Village, this is that was a cornerstone. This was, I'm always looking. When I go investigating, that's why, we call ourselves Off the Beaten Path, because that's what I try to, and Steve, that's what we try to do all the time, to go off the beaten path. Everybody's been to Eastern State, everybody's been to those places, Eastern State or, Alcatraz or all those mental hospital, Waverly Hills. Even Bob Mackey, we had a great experience, but it's like, yeah, I've been there. You talk to teams, they've been there. But Basso Village, not really. Letchworth Village, those kind of places, Clinton Road, these are the kind of the beaten path places where you can, feel for yourself. And this is how you grow as an investigator, as an explorer, because I'm not just a paranormal investigator. At heart, I'm an explorer. I would consider myself a little bit like a modern day Josh Gates, Indiana Jones, is that I would go anywhere. It doesn't matter to me if I have to walk through, 12 inches of dog shit to get to a location. I would. Everybody that knows me would tell you, Dom, I would go in a tunnel through sewers if I have access, if I have permission, but I would go through anything to get to a location that has some interest for me. I'm not picky. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to do this. I'm going to get all dirty. That's rule number 1 of paranormal investigating, urban exploring, and urban legend tripping, is that wear all clothes. And don't worry, if, you can buy some more clothes, but you can't buy back that experience to go to that location. That is something you can buy back. And to me, that's the most important thing, is to learn and to challenge yourself and always go a little bit step higher, Okay, next time, where else can we go that we have access to, that we're not trespassing? That's important. That's rule number 1, never trespass and always be respectful. And always make sure you talk to people around there to try to get as much information as you can, and to try to report good information when you post videos or stuff like that. It happened to me sometimes. I've been given false information, and I went back, erased the video, or changed the title, because, it was like, oh, no, finally I realized that her name was not Selena, it was Selina, whatever, to keep good information going, so that because people, believe in you and trust you, so it's important to keep your information as clear as possible and keep the history of the place you're investigating or touring or videoing through as good as possible, so people will not repeat false information. So to me, that was a very, very cool place, Basso Village in New Jersey. Incredibly cool. And that night we got to meet my friend Jeff Swisher, an actor who was in movie Through the Glass with Jay Walls, that I met at Rolling Hills last year when we helped Jay finish the movie Through the Glass. And we were able to have supper with Jeff. The kids loved him. He's a great, great guy. Hi, brother. I loved seeing you. Looking forward to next time. So that was a great, great day. And then the next day, that was the other central part of my road trip. We headed straight to Centralia. Centralia, Pennsylvania, Graffiti Highway. So I knew we could go on Graffiti Highway. There's so many videos on YouTube, and when I got there, any idea? People, is it trespassing when you see there's 38, 40 cars parked by the side of the street and everybody's going there? To me, they're about probably to charge people. They could make a lot of money if they just charged $5 a person. They'd be able to restore that. That's incredible. The amount of people. There was at least in the 4 hours we were there, I would say 250 people that was walking on the highway and driving through town. So that was pretty special. I wouldn't say spooky, because to me, I've been to spooky locations where buildings like Letchworth is spooky, very spooky. Letchworth Village. The buildings, with the trees around it, overgrown. That's spooky, Eastern State is spooky. Centralia, it's not spooky, it's special. And you have that feeling where it's a sad history. People had to leave their house. A lot of people died, they had to leave their house because of the, what happened, because of the fire, the mine fire that is still burning underneath. Since 1962, and that fire will keep on burning for hundreds of years, and it's very, very, very sad, And what happened is that in 1962, a fire started in a mine beneath the town, and that led to the town being almost entirely abandoned because the smoke that was coming out was toxic and people were dying from it. So, people had to leave their house, and it's a few people decided to stay, and they're still there, and, that you just have something, you can't explain, when you driving by the side of the road and you see the remnants of the buildings, only the small little, I would say maybe a feet tall. That's all that remains of the house and the side of the streets. It just makes you feel like, wow, it really is special. And I felt like crying when I was driving through town. You just feel like, wow, people live there, and they had to leave their home. And a lot of people don't realize this is your own town. This is where you've lived all your life. It's very, very sad, and you have to abandon everything, and not just monetarily, but in terms of all your belongings. You can take your stuff with you, but still, this is like if my own town was to catch fire. It's nothing can replace it. You can move anywhere else, but it still wouldn't be where you lived, where you spent your life, and where you raise your children, or where you were raised. So that was very, very sad, very emotional for me, to walk on Graffiti Highway and see all the graffitis. Most of them are, stupid, but some of them, from the United States Army, and very cool graffitis. And that was special. And there's a lot of stuff going on too. Right now there's people working on a documentary on the town. And in 2016, time capsule that was buried in 1966 is supposed to be open for the former residents. So in 2016 it will be a big year in Centralia. And people cleaning the town. This year, people organized the town absolutely amazingly. They were cleaning up, because there's so much junk that people left everywhere. So they're trying to clean the town as much as they can, and that is cool, And if you also want to see a great, learn more about the history of Centralia, you can watch the documentary, The Town That Was, and it talks about the history of the town and the former residents, what happened. And it's very emotional and very, of course, the pictures there, absolutely breathtaking, of Graffiti Highway. And you can see the cracks in the basement and where the steep, where the road just caved in. And it's a mile long, the part where people left graffiti. And so it's worth it, it's worth the drive. And I'm very happy I was there. And we'll go back and spend more time with the team. That's another place where we can't wait to go back in Centralia. So, and also on the way to Centralia, we stopped by the Yuengling Brewery. I haven't posted anything yet, because I want to keep some surprise. But the Yuengling Brewery is the oldest operating brewery in the United States of America. And it's absolutely stunning. And when I say stunning, I mean stunning. The building is old. It was founded in 1829. And it's now owned by a fifth generation of Yuengling. They pass it from generation to generation. And even during the Prohibition, the beer kept being made for medicinal purposes. And there's a picture of sending, when the Prohibition ended, of them, sending, a big bunch of beer to the White House. That was a very special thing that they taught us there. And you can see the brewery itself, the underground tunnels where they keep everything. And it's in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Beautiful, 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 beautiful old brewery. You can visit everything. It's free. You can donate. We bought T-shirts. We bought old-time glasses. We met a NASCAR driver that was there, that is driving for Yuengling. We saw at the end of the tour, you can see where the bottle everything together, the way it goes so fast, it goes so fast. And the beer is absolutely great. Very good beer. They have good lager, premium beer, black and tan, the dark brew porter, the Chesterfield Ale, the Yuengling Bock, Summer Wheat. Is a lot of great beers. And so those that love beer, and you would love to visit it and also to drink some of it. And this is a gift from my friend, Dr. Spectre Frank Sinelli, because he's the one that told me, Dom, if you go to Centralia, and you absolutely have to stop and visit the Yuengling Brewery. And we also love to investigate this place because I felt a lot of energy in the basement. There's something definitely brewing there, that's for sure. And I enjoyed the tour, I enjoyed the place, enjoyed the location, enjoyed the people working there. And I also enjoy the beer. So that can't ask for much more than that, right? So, and then, on the way back, from Yuengling and Centralia, we visited, some caves, some very cool locations. We went to Rhode Island, Newport, Rhode Island. We met with Tracy and Cody of Tap's Home Team, Rise Up Paranormal. Amazing people. We had a great time, spending day with them, and then, we kind of relaxed a little bit more. We took a walk in the forest, in Rhode Island. I love Rhode Island. Visited Harrisville and went to Bathsheba Tombstone in Harrisville. She was portrayed as a witch in the movie The Conjuring. And when you read about it, there's many stories, but everybody kind of agrees now with the historians that she never was a witch. Some people say she was not absolutely amazing with her kids. She was not the best mother around. Some people say it's all full of crap. The one thing that is not true is she was not a witch. And the fact that they broke the tombstone in half broke my heart when I saw the videos online. And I was like, well, oh my God. And the tombstone to me still was half broken. But now they kind of glued it back together. And basically all I wanted to do was to go there and pay my respect and bring her flowers. And, we drove and we got lost. We couldn't find it. And finally, when I found it, I left her a flower. And I just wanted to say thank you. And as I was doing a small ghost box session to explain to her, that I hope she rests in peace. I'm still very emotional about it. And I hope that just people, see a movie and they take everything for granted without doing any, looking up for history. And, that's sad to me, and that I hope she rests in peace with her family and her son and her daughters and her husband. And said, "There's anything you'd like to tell me?" And it said, "Thanks, Dom," in a woman's voice. I can't say for sure it was Bathsheba because I don't know what her voice sounded like, but to me that was basically that's why we do what we do, to try to bring closure to people that would still be here and are still lingering here, and just asking them why. The question is always, why would you still be here? If you're here because you're happy, this is your home, you're happy, that's one thing. But if you're here because you feel trapped here, that's a totally different story. So hopefully, Bathsheba rest in peace, like anybody who deserves to rest in peace when they pass. When we go, we have a short life and we have to enjoy every second of it. That's the most important thing. And then we finished the travel our vacation, in Maine, and chilled, relaxed, and but so much stuff for the kids again, and spent a lot of money. But that was a great vacation, and we found great locations for the team to go back. But out of it, the one thing that I realized is life is short, and you really have to enjoy every day, And my hashtag on Twitter, everybody laughs when I post it because it's funny, but it's true. You have to live every day as if it was your last, because someday it will be, and it's true. Someday will be your last. Believe that. Nothing we can do about it. It might be tomorrow, it might be in a week, in a year, in 50 years, I don't know. But, every day you have to go live your life, enjoy it as much as you can, and try to stop not worrying. I wouldn't say worry, because worrying sometimes is good, it makes you think, makes you worry. But stop worrying about the things that you can't control. Time flies, and every day you're building tomorrow. But every day is all we've got. Every day, today, right now, this is the moment. Right now, I'm doing my podcast, and in 5 minutes, I'll be doing something else. But right now, I'm doing my podcast. I'm concentrating on it and giving my all on it. This is how we should live our lives. To enjoy every minute, to enjoy every when we meet people. To be able to make them feel important, because they are. Because if we were living alone in a world by ourselves, it would be boring and there would be nothing to do, basically. So it's important to have good friends, and to treat your friends well, and to treat your friends with respect. And I would always say, the hashtag also loyalty and respect, but it's true. Never give up. Always live your life every day as if it was your last, and enjoy people around you, and try to act in a way that makes people enjoying you as well. That's important. Stay positive, and being negative. That's why I'm never posting anything negative on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, because it's nobody else's fault. If I'm having a bad day, why talking about it won't help. If I have a bad day, I can talk to my best friends. I can talk to my close friends, But if I post it on Facebook or Twitter, it won't change anything. But if I keep posting positive stuff, maybe the replies of people and people talking with me will help turn that bad day into a good day. So I always say, by keeping things in a good light, positive, it's important. It's important to remember that life is so short that if you complain, bitch, and moan, it won't change anything anyway. So that was my little podcast that I wanted to do today. Talk about what I've been. I'm posting some videos right now on Facebook and Twitter about Centralia. And later on, I'll post some videos also. Letchworth Village. Yesterday, I posted some pictures about Letchworth Village. If you go to my page, you can see. Anyway, if you know me, if you follow me throughout my road trip, you've seen a lot of pictures, because basically at night, when I got to the hotel, I was always happy to share my adventures with you guys. This is one of the, to me, the coolest thing ever, is to bring you on the road with me, and to make you feel my experiences and to share it. Because, like I said before, we never know how long we're here for. And if I can brighten your day with a picture or a little video, or that's as good as it gets to me. Like my friend Dustin Perry always says, we can change the world 1 tweet, 1 inch at a time. And trying to stay positive. I always remind people that I'm here on Twitter and Facebook. If you want to talk, I'm there. You can direct message me, or send me a direct message on Twitter, and I'll be happy to chat with you all. And very happy that I was able to share my road trip with y'all, and hopefully, see you on the road soon, and remember, live every day as if it was your last, because someday will be. Believe that. Have a nice day, everybody.